Estranged twin stole my fiancé and married him on our wedding day. A year later, the truth broke him. I've endured a lifetime of betrayal and favoritism within my family, but nothing prepared me for the shocking events that unfolded with my twin sister, Talia, and my fiancé, Matt. Their actions not only broke my heart but forced me to rebuild my life from scratch. Growing up, it was obvious that Talia was the golden child. Despite being identical twins, my parents clearly favored her. She got the best toys, the most attention, and all the privileges, while I was treated as an afterthought. Even as kids, Talia always got first pick of everything, whether it was clothes, gifts, or even parental affection. I tried expressing my feelings of being overlooked, but my parents dismissed me. They insisted I was being dramatic and selfish. Over time, I learned to bury my hurt, even though it slowly created a deep rift between Talia and me. As we got older, Talia grew more selfish and manipulative. By middle school, she distanced herself from our mutual friends to join the cool kids, leaving me free to strengthen my friendships. I didn't mind at the time since her absence brought me some peace. However, the rift between us grew worse in high school. While I was focused on academics and preparing for college, Talia was preoccupied with social status. When it came time to apply for universities, I worked tirelessly on my applications, especially my essays, knowing they were key to my future. Talia, however, seemed oddly relaxed. Little did I know, she had stolen my essay and submitted it as her own. When I discovered her betrayal, I was livid. But I also knew my parents wouldn't support me if I confronted her. They never did. So, I went straight to the university, providing evidence of the plagiarism. They blacklisted her, and her admission was revoked. While I felt justified, my parents were furious, not at her, but at me. They accused me of ruining Talia's future and labeled me a vengeful troublemaker. That incident solidified my decision to cut ties with my family. As soon as I left for college, I went low contact with my parents and completely severed ties with Talia. College was a fresh start for me. I focused on building a new life and eventually met Matt, a kind and caring man. Matt's family was everything mine wasn't: loving, supportive, and close-knit. He and I became close friends before dating, and after years together, he proposed. I thought I had finally found happiness and a sense of belonging. The wedding planning, however, tested our relationship in unexpected ways. The biggest issue was my estranged family. From the beginning, I told Matt that I didn't want my parents or sister at the wedding. My friends were my real family, and I wanted the day to be about joy, not past trauma. Initially, Matt agreed, but as the wedding drew closer, he began pushing me to invite them. He argued that it was important for families to be present at weddings and that his own family would find their absence strange. I resisted, but after weeks of arguments, I reluctantly agreed to invite my parents, on one condition: Talia was not to attend. 6 weeks before the wedding, I called my parents and made my boundaries clear. They were welcome to come, but Talia was absolutely not invited. My parents protested, calling me immature and accusing me of holding a grudge. I stood firm, warning them that if they brought Talia, I would have them escorted out. I thought I had been clear, but I underestimated their determination to marry. A week before the wedding, my parents invited Matt and me to meet them at their hotel, claiming they wanted to give me a gift. Reluctantly, I agreed, with Matt promising to leave if anything felt off. When we arrived, my worst fear was realized: Talia was there. They had orchestrated a surprise reconciliation. I was furious. Matt tried to mediate, but I stormed out, feeling utterly betrayed by everyone in the room. The following days were a blur. Matt, instead of supporting me, completely ghosted me. He ignored my calls and texts, leaving me confused and heartbroken. By the time the wedding day arrived, I knew it was over. I canceled the event and began the painful process of moving on. But nothing could have prepared me for what I learned 2 months later: Matt had married Talia on what was supposed to be our wedding day. I was in shock. My parents and Talia had manipulated Matt, feeding him lies about my character and our family history. They convinced him that I was the problem and persuaded him to marry Talia to avoid embarrassment. I couldn't believe he had fallen for their schemes. Betrayed by my family and the man I loved, I hit rock bottom. Over the next year, I focused on rebuilding my life. I avoided any news about Matt or Talia, determined not to let their betrayal consume me. Then, out of the blue, I received a call from Matt's mother, Nancy. She was in tears, begging me to meet her. Hesitant but curious, I agreed. When we met, Nancy revealed everything. Talia, in a drunken outburst, had confessed the full extent of her deceit. She admitted to manipulating Matt, lying about me, and even bragging about how easily he had fallen into their trap. Nancy explained that Matt was devastated, realizing he had been duped. He now saw Talia for who she truly was and regretted every decision that led to their marriage. Nancy pleaded with me to give Matt a chance to explain himself. She claimed he still loved me and wanted to make amends. But I was unmoved. Matt had made his choice, and no amount of regret could undo the damage. I told Nancy my decision was final. I wanted nothing to do with Matt or Talia ever again. Cutting them off for good wasn't easy, but it was necessary for my healing. I've worked too hard to rebuild my life to let them drag me back into their chaos. Matt's betrayal and my family's toxicity are behind me now. I finally found peace, and I'm not looking back.